Why is the mic crying?
Because he hit me with the controller.
Hey. Guys, are we here? Hi, welcome, guys. It's Saturday night. I think my network is better tonight. I'm in front of the fireplace, so hopefully they can't get to us here. Abolova. My guest is in the waiting room, just waiting for the usual suspects. Let me see who's here. Noctula is here. Kumkani, of course, the Eastern Cape always. Eastern Cape's always in the house. Zankolo is here. Eastern Cape people are first. What's going on? Why are you early? Bra Facebook is gonna switch to YouTube. Congratulations, well done. Another day with Cow Live Show, yes. You guys are late today. Some of you guys are late. Okay, now you're here. Now you're gathering. Those of you who missed last night, we had Elsa Majimbo from Kenya, who's become so popular on Twitter, on Instagram, from making all these videos that literally have gone viral, crazy. And on the 29th of June, it's her birthday, so we're gonna have a birthday party for her online. Rebecca from Vereniging. No, Rebecca, you were here printing things at 9:30. Well done. Bitumelo is here. If it's your first time, guys, let us know. So far, I think I know everyone that's here every night for almost 4 weeks now. Noctula from Cape Town. Temba is here. Team David Cow. Taro might have been on Twitter. Guys, please go, if you're on Twitter, please go and sort out Donald and Donald's fans. Because it's rivalry now between me and Donald. Donald can say, I just coughed, and he's got like 400 likes and 600 retweets. I say some of the most profound things and I'll get like 2 likes and 1 retweet. I mean, really, guys. I have 800,000 followers. I have twice the number of Donald's followers. So I've decided my Twitter followers must reveal themselves. You know, you're either with me or you're against me. Why? King Soul is here. What? Kitse ha ke kena mabane boom latswa. Noctula. Where's Tuto, guys? Hey, it's Saturday. Maybe she's having red wine. Ekresi is represented. Saki. Shar. Temba, go and reveal yourself, guys. Punch Casella is a first timer. Welcome to all the first timers, guys. I'm gonna bring my guest. There's so much to say about my guest tonight. I'm sure you guys are not even expecting me to have someone like her on the show. Very chill, very quiet. She doesn't like being called the first black ballerina in South Africa as much as I don't like being called the first black stand-up comedian. But we pretty much started out more or less the same time. And Yo, we come from far, guys. We used to go to. Wait, let me just bring her in. So, oh wow. Hi. Hello. Thank you. She bring Daddy Vaseline. Thank you. My sister Lorraine is here. Tomorrow she's gonna be asking me to buy her dad. Caesar is not here yet. Kineilwe Aulihito. I call out everyone, Chief. Moose is here. Okay, guys, let me bring my guest. I'm so excited. Excuse the noise because my 2-year-old is in the background. I thought he was chilling in the other room. There are those paintings, guys, in my house, né? Which I cannot figure out who the painter is. The signature looks like 2-3 different names. But I'm now trying to find out who it is because I've had the paintings for more than 10 years and I've got more. So I want to see how much they're worth. And maybe I can make some money out of them. Pro Mad is here. Everybody's here. Guys, please welcome the one and only Kitty Phetla. Am I saying it right? Am I saying it right?
Yes, no, you're saying it right. Yeah, you're saying it right. It was just, people tend to have an issue with, not an issue, like, a bit of a misspelling, but it's understandable,
Yeah.
Mm.
So, what have you been up to? So, guys, Kitty is a ballerina, choreographer, dancer, probably businesswoman, radio host, DJ. Have you done any acting yet?
No, I think I'd be very bad at it.
You think so?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'd be bad at it. But hey, if I'm thrown the challenge, I'm always happy to take it with open hands. You know what I mean? With open arms. Yeah.
And how long have you been doing radio?
It's gonna be, this year would be 14 years and counting. 14 years, yeah.
What radio station are you on now?
Currently, I'm actually not at a radio station. I was at, I just recently left Trans Africa. Awesome platform. But I guess, with coronavirus, focus kind of shifted. So, but prior to that, I was at Radio 2000, and then before that was Alex FM, that's where I started. Yeah. But
What
you
do
know
you
who
think-
sent me to Alex FM?
Yeah.
Sekgale Sekgotsi sent me to Alex FM.
Really?
Yeah, because I was.
where?
Pardon?
From where?
So the thing is, yeah, this is the thing about, being so passionate about things. I've got issues with passion a bit. So I always had a thing for radio, like back in the days, and on radio. So I remember I used to sit with my mom and listen to these stories, and you hear the door opening, people walking, like, type of thing. So that's when I knew that, I have to be part of that theater of the mind.
Yeah.
So I just didn't have the know-how. All I know is that I wanted to be on radio. So I approached I think I approached Metro FM. I eventually got a meeting with Sekgale Sekgotsi, may his soul rest in peace.
Yeah.
And he sat me down. He's like, "Who are you?" And I'm just a regular person, just looking for a job on radio. It's like, listen, I can't do anything with you, but how I can help you is send you back to your hood and get polished. Get the know-how, school yourself. School yourself about the form itself, because it's such a beautiful form, a beautiful platform. And I highly respect the radio medium, So
Yeah.
that's where I started. He wrote a letter and he's like, listen, I'm gonna refer you to Alex FM. And that's where I started. I never looked back ever since. So he used to say to me, I must, do recordings and then send them to him so he can just keep tabs on him, tabs on me,
Yeah.
on radio. So that's how the relationship started. I don't know if if he was still alive, he would ever remember me, but he made that kind of impact in my life. So starting off Alex FM, I was very happy there because I learned so many things. I didn't know that there's so much
So
that
this was
goes
what?
into radio.
How long ago was Alex FM?
Sure, I'm 37 now. I'm very bad with maths. I think I was what? Probably 25, I think. Yeah, 25. It must have been 25. Yeah. So yeah, that's I think 25, 24, if not earlier. Yeah, that's when I went to Alex FM. Yeah. I learned a
How much?
lot. I learned a
How
lot.
much were you making at the time? Did you get paid at Alex FM?
No. So Alex FM, I was working for free, but for me, it was you can never that kind of experience is priceless, honestly. You know, but then I
Yeah.
think towards the last 2 years, Nebahofa, I thank you, kind of, and I think it was what $500 for your petrol, you know, for traveling costs,
Month end, every
and
month.
yeah, every month end. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was probably the last year that I worked at Alex FM, or the last 2 years. So there was some kind of an incentive. You know, things like that you kind of appreciate with open arms, really, because it's just like a sign of appreciation. You know, your traveling fees covered, and plus I'm from the hood and I'm driving as well, so that came in handy, I guess, for me. You know, yeah,
So this is what I need to understand about Alex.
yeah.
You were born in Alex, right?
Actually, this is Alex is where better part of my childhood start is from. But
Yeah.
I actually I was born and I was staying Kosoweto Kotube. And then when I started ballet when I was 9, that's when I grew up with Alex. We moved to Alexandra to East Bank.
So for me, Alex is supposed to be, or was supposed to be, one of the most violent places ever.
Yeah.
Um, it's very crowded. There's no space.
Mm.
I don't know if you remember the late DJ Monde.
Right, yes. Mm. Yeah.
So DJ Monde once took myself and Zamachobe to Alex. That was my first time I went to 15.
Maybe it's
Guys
Mogodu.
that are too young to know, 15 used to be,
Go
I don't know,
Mogodu.
there were no Chisanyamas at the time. Ne?
Nna ke gopola 15 ba bitsa Mogodung, eh?
Road.
Mm.
Huh?
Ke gopola ko 15 ba bitsa ko Mogodung.
No, it was Mokhod. It was not a bright
Yeah.
place. It was
No, no, no.
Mautwana and Malamhod.
Mm.
From Brian Baloyi, I think Bomahuta already, Bospekere, Sonia.
Listen, Sonia, listen, this is when we used to bump into each other for 15.
Sonia Booth. Those
Yes.
don't know Sonia.
Listen, I used to party with Sonia, ne? I used to party proper with Sonia
Yeah.
back in the
Look,
days, yeah.
those were fun days. How did you balance being a ballerina and almost just having a normal life like everyone else? I mean, doing radio as well.
So funny thing is that growing up in Alex, I think I was kind of like isolated in a way, but I tried to strike a balance because you know when you come from the hood, there's nothing special about you, honestly. You know, so because I spent so much of my time in the studio, at the ballet studio, than I did at the hood. It was any time that I got to be in the street, you know, because I was such a tomboy. And those days slowly withered away, you know. But when I got older, I was always hanging out laboratory. So Tula Cindy, Lorna Maseko, Cheryl Hood, like we used to just always party together because we worked together and we partied together. But Tula Cindy, who were just like people that were just like brothers with, you know what I mean? So we used to always hang out together and work together as well. I think that's how we managed to strike the balance as well. Yeah.
Lorna was a ballerina as well, right?
Yes. Yeah. 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 So
Um,
with Lorna, funny thing is that Lorna, I grew up with Lorna and we were discovered and were trained together and we danced in the same company, Martin Schambek's company called Ballet Theatre African. Toriso also danced there as well. So yeah, we literally grew up together and partied together. You know, we used to sleep over at each other's houses, you know. So yeah, we come a long way.
yeah, because there was I used to go to the Durban July on this Loliwe train for KZN tourism. And there was a time she was there, and then there used to be a coach which was like a nightclub. Because obviously we'd train there overnight, you know.
Right.
And there was one time, yes, she started doing some splits, bro. She was she was so flexible. But you know when you're like dancing and then someone just starts showing you what they can do.
Ah, gosh, that's Lorna for you. Oh gosh, yeah, we've had some crazy times. My gosh, yeah.
um, so how do you split your time between radio and everything else?
So radio and dancing actually ended up working together so beautifully because when I started Alex FM, I had a show Saturday and Sunday from 9 until midnight, right?
Yeah,
Which worked very perfectly for me. But there were times where if I have performance on a Saturday, it's always used to clash because performance starts at 7:30 or 8 o'clock on a Saturday, which would be the second show. I give it Saturdays, there's always two shows. So that was
yeah,
only discrepancy. But at the end of the day, it balanced out because when I went to Radio 2000, I started off for 9 to 12. Actually, I was thrown into the deep end. I'll never forget because Yanda Pigalep is the one that hired me. Um, and initially, when I got hired, I was given the 3 to 6 slot, which I was very happy about, because I'm like, okay, it's graveyard. It's a slot where I can grow and prove myself.
yeah.
But I think 2 days before they released the new lineup, they were like, Kitty, we have to push it up to 9 to 12. I was like, oh my God, you're throwing me to the deep end. So that also worked out pretty well. And then eventually I went to 3 to 6, which was even better because then I didn't have to miss any shows. And then I got moved from midnight to 3. So it always worked very well with each other. Yeah, so I was very fortunate and I found that that time of night is just perfect for me, because um, creating the theater of the mind, I find at that time is just really perfect. It works very perfectly together. Yeah. David, I'm struggling to hear you. I think you've muted your mic or something.
I muted myself because my kids are busy.
Yes, yes, yes.
So David Odiambo is from Kenya, ne?
Mm-hmm. I see him.
I think he's also an up and coming comedian.
I can see this. I want to understand how Kitty worked at Alex FM for free. Was Alex FM a department of Batum? Oh, Batum. Listen, for me, I would not change my journey at all. If I had to do it all again, I would do it, at Alex FM because I got to learn so many things. And because what people tend to not understand, you got to start from somewhere. Not everything comes with a salary. Look with my ballet training, you don't get paid to get trained. You know,
Yeah,
you actually put in the time for training because that training does not come for any amount. You know what I mean? You cannot put a price on it. So at Alex FM, I learned how to compile, I learned how to produce, I learned how to polish up my skills as an on-air presenter. I learned how to be an on-air presenter and create once again that theater of the mind as well.
yeah,
So it's such a brilliant skill that nobody can pay you for it. So eventually when you get yourself out there and get your name out there, yes, of course, when you get to, I think it was such a perfect way to pave me to go to a commercial radio station. And I couldn't have thought of a better way to get to a commercial platform. So I understand it, and that's why I say I would do it again for free, because I learned so much
yeah.
from Alex FM. I really did.
I've done an interview there. I think they have an office just not far from the new mall. Um,
Yes, yeah, because they moved from when where were they? Namaloko second when I was still at Alex FM. Actually,
did you
when I
know?
started off, Narilko, what is that? There's a recreational center. Okay.
Did you know a lot of other artists or celebrities in Alex at the time, or who came from Alex? Like Brian Baloyi came from Alex, I think.
Yes.
Um,
Um.
Yaba
Gosh,
from Squatter Camp,
gosh,
he rest in peace.
yes. Yes.
Um,
I didn't know of many actually, but you're quite right. There's quite a lot of talents that came from Alex. You're
Yeah.
quite right. Yeah. So listen, I just feel like, there's so much that I learned at Alex FM that it was so profound, and it's such a I have such a soft spot for Alex FM, and my gratitude to them for taking me in and teaching me what they taught me. Yeah. Because your best work started community radio. Most of
Yeah.
us started at community radio, you know?
Are you looking to do more radio?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a tough time now for the medium itself, because
But
everyone's
you do
transitioning.
realize radio listenership actually went up because of lockdown all over the world. And in South
Yeah,
Africa,
you just also, I guess at the same time, you got to understand the politics behind it, because when my contract ended at Radio 2000, it was so unexpected. But I never give up on the hope of going back to other SABC or other radio stations that I'd love to work for, because
yeah,
yeah, because radio is such a beautiful medium and it's so part of who I am. I've put in the work, I've put in the hours 14 years later, which is, considered still very new in the game, but you've paid your dues. So I really, really do want to go back to radio and I hope I can. Yeah, soon.
can you see this question? What advice can you
Um,
give to the young ones who wants to do ballerina like my Lesego? She loves it. She has been doing it for a year, but now I don't see any progress.
you know what? Right now is very tough, because everybody's trying to find a way to customize themselves to the online uh, um,
Yeah,
um, realm, I guess, of trying to figure things out using technology. And
yeah,
I find that, with little kids, I find that, nothing beats the human element, because I'm thinking, I guess maybe I've got a bit of an old brain, maybe, because
yeah,
how I was brought up in dancing, I can't think of anything better than having Martin always there. Like, uh, uh, um, um, when I say the human element, it's like he's always there, giving you corrections, having constant communication with you, eye to eye, face to face, and especially when you're a kid growing up, that is so essential. So right now, I think we're all trying to find our bearings, because even for me, because I was very excited to launch my school this year, but due to unfortunate circumstances such as COVID-19, you know, um, it's one of those things. I'm also like trying to find my way. We all trying to find our way. It's such a difficult time, and I'd be the worst person to say that I've got the best advice, because I think the best advice is that right now we are all trying to find our way, trying to understand our new normal under the circumstances. Yeah.
did you? I know we spoke about your school or the school you wanted to open. How far were you? Did you find space that you want to use?
So David, because remember we had a conversation that the space that you find is a space that should talk to you at the same time. And you're very surprised that before you put any other things in place, finding a space is such an important factor. And believe it or not, I was still struggling to find a space. And I can see it in my head, but it's very difficult, because at the same time you still want to be able to be central and still find a place that is relatively okay for kids. It's just like, you have to find the perfect surrounding, but at the same time, you know, it's like a conversation I have with myself that maybe I'm being too picky, or I'm being too hard on myself, or maybe being too hard on the idea of finding a space. So yeah, it was just literally a process of me. Like when COVID-19 happened, I was still driving around finding the place that actually talks to me, because that's so important, because that's where you're going to be spending most of your time.
I was saying, I mean, I know how hard it is for actors or any type of art in South Africa to make money. Even if you make money, you can make a lot of money in a short space of time and not make a whole money anymore for a
Mm.
while. So, how did you survive as a ballerina? Did you have to do other work, or could you live just on being a ballerina?
Um, okay. Previous to COVID-19, people always ask, like, how do you make a living out of being a ballerina or being a performing artist. So I've always been part of dance companies, you know, because I mean, I started with Ballet Theatre African, then I went to Mzansi Productions, then I went to Joburg Ballet. I always say to myself, you got to live within your means. If you earn a salary of 5,000 rands, you got to have a life of 5,000 rands, you know. So I earned a senior soloist salary at Joburg Ballet, so I managed to make that work, you know. But at the same time, you got to find ways to save money. And moving into COVID-19, you know, it's been very hard, David. It's been very, very hard, you know, when you're worried about when your next paycheck is going to come. Because prior to COVID-19, you had certain things in place. I was supposed to travel. Most of my gigs got cancelled as well. But, you know, when you apply for the National Arts, um, um,
Relief
what is
fund.
it? Yeah, the relief fund. Sorry, I lost my words there. The relief fund. You know, there's a lot of things that they want to do. I mean, we applied, you know, but because a lot of the gigs were still in conversational phase,
Yeah.
where you knew when it was going to happen, but contracts were not signed up. So yeah, so most of us work differently. You know, some people get contracts maybe 2 months before the gig, but with me, we had a lot of conversations, but I knew that I was going. So the week before, yes, we're gonna sign contracts. So I couldn't prove that, you know, but I still applied. So
Yeah.
living on savings right now, worrying that, you know, when is the next paycheck gonna come? It's a big worry, you know, but you gotta
Yeah.
always keep yourself constant and relevant via social media so clients can book you, because also clients are under a lot of pressure because people are making a lot of adjustments that they never expected that they need to make, you know, because of
Yeah.
COVID-19. Yeah.
Have you thought of starting a podcast?
Um, Yes, I have. But you know, at the same time, it's that thing, yeah, because I think maybe I'm very intimidated by technology. Maybe I'm very silly. But I think let me not try sound like I'm being smart or anything. But yeah, I think it's also a matter of knowing how to do it. You know, what
Yeah.
do you have to offer? What's so special about what you have to offer in a podcast? Because everybody's doing podcasts, everybody's trying to um, create a career online. And I'm also kind of like sitting on that. How can I make Kitty Phetla special online or on podcasts? You know, what
Yeah.
stories can I tell? How can I be different? You know, so yeah, it's these kind of conversations you have with self. It's tough. It's tough.
And then, where did the ballet inspiration come from?
It came from Norway. Um, I had a choice between karate and ballet, and the door on the left had karate, the door on the left had on right had ballet. So, because I was such a tomboy, I grew up with two boys, you know, my brothers. So I don't know, I just looked the other way and I saw um, a white guy. He looked very interesting, very poised, very good posture. He looked
Yeah.
very interesting. So I thought, hey, let me go try that. And I never looked back ever since then. So I was just also very, it was a matter of me being there at the right time, at the right place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was very fortunate. I was very fortunate to be discovered by Martin. Very fortunate.
So you've been doing it. Do you still do ballet now as a performer?
Yes, yeah. So, which is also been very tough about lockdown is that, you know, as an athlete, you got to keep yourself going. So you're now taken away from your everyday regime because I've also
Yeah.
left the ballet company. So I'm an
Mm.
independent artist now. So you got to mentally keep yourself going at the same time because there's certain things that I'm preparing for as well. I can't really say at the moment. So my daily routine literally at the moment is I run 5Ks in the morning, come back, do my ballet bar at home, and then do some exercises. I wish now you could have done your push-up challenge because now I can do push-ups. And then I will join you for your push-up challenge because I've had to like force myself to do that. And then in the afternoon, I do the Westcliff stairs for another 5Ks. You know, so it's a tough regime every day. Mentally, it's very exhausting. My body at the moment is screaming at
How
me.
many Ks do
So
you
yeah.
run?
So every day I do between 9 and 10 Ks a day. Yeah.
Running.
Yeah, running. So in the morning it's strictly just running and then just run uphill and then come down, run uphill and come down, and then continue to run back to my house. And then in the afternoon it's running up those stairs and all the way around and then up the stairs all the way around like 4 or 5 times. Yeah.
And then how
Yeah.
many
This
steps
is
can you do?
Sorry.
How many push-ups can you do?
Let's not push it. I can do. Let's see. I have to do 10 at a go and then rest, and then I do 10 reps. Right. So 10, 10. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not doing so badly. I think it's bad, but yeah, I'm doing my best. Listen, David, I could never even do one push-up in the past.
No, push-ups are not the child's play, but
Mhm.
you even want to start with just one, and then two, and then five, and then
Yeah,
8.
that's how I started. During
Better that.
lockdown, I started with one, and then like I was like, okay, I can do one slow push-up. Now I'm
Yeah.
up to 10 now. So which is
Nah,
actually quite an
you can't be
achievement.
staring about it. You can't come from nowhere and just, you know,
No, because you know what? As a ballet
doing
dancer, you always
push-up.
we are
It doesn't
so
work
we are
like
so
that.
competitive. You know, as ballet dancers, we are very competitive. We're like, no, we can do anything if we put our mind to it. And then I got introduced to a push-up. I was like, because I used to see, you know, at the ballet company or fellow dancers, you see men doing push-ups, and you're like, wow, that's amazing. You know, but
Yeah.
they need it. You know. But yeah, I've got newfound respect because I always used to always be respectful to people doing push-ups because those look very hard. But now, yeah, I
Are you doing
it's
it
very
all by
hard.
yourself? Butumelo here does yoga. Or she tried to show us a pose the other day. I put her on here. We almost all fell. All of us almost all fell from her trying to do a yoga pose at home and her place.
You know what's so funny about yoga? I have such respect for yoga. I've tried it once or twice. Yeah, no, David. You know, because a lot of people are like, no, Kitty, yoga should be easy for you. You're very flexible. I'm like, no, it's a different kind of, it's different. It's different. I just have a lot of respect for people that do yoga. It's different. Because you know why?
Yeah,
As dancers, we work outwards, ne?
yeah.
And forgive me if I'm incorrect for for people who do yoga and are listening. Ballet, we work outwards, right? So hence the splits, the legs outwards that way. And whereas with yoga, you hold a lot of positions in parallel, and that's very hard for me. That's very
Um,
hard.
are you doing all this by yourself when you are running, when you are doing the push-ups? Like, are you good exercising by
Absolutely,
yourself? Are you disciplined?
absolutely. Absolutely. By myself in the morning into the ballet class. I'm still yet to put on my point shoes though, because I'm preparing for something, as I said earlier. I haven't had my point shoes on for a very long time because those are sore. And then in the afternoon, I have a very good friend of mine who I used to dance with at Joburg Ballet. So Shannon Glover, we get together and we just do those stairs like listen,
Yeah.
like our lives depend on it. Yeah, they're tough. They're
Someone
very
said
tough.
you can't jump on improper surfaces like tiles and concrete. So, what are you doing to help with your allegro during lockdown? When I'm a girl.
Okay, so it's very interesting because that's one of during lockdown for us dancers, and Kika just asked a very good question. For us dancers during lockdown, elevation is something that's probably going to suffer. So for me to help me with elevation, because even when I was preparing for performances, running in the morning always helps with elevation because you can't run just like a normal person. You have to be very conscious of the fact that the alignment of your leg is right, your knee is over your second toe, and your hip alignment is also correct and your
Yeah.
foot is completely flat on the floor. And that also helps with when you propel off the floor to jump. So I find that running helps me a lot with jumping with elevation. Yeah. And
What
also
kind
when I do ballet at home in my kitchen, I do a lot of bends and stretch, which we call plie. So I involve a lot of plie in my exercises to help me with elevation. And also floor bar helps. Yeah.
Ugiso PJ says, I did a pencil portrait for her and I gave her Madiba pencil sketch. Hope she still got them. Do you remember this person?
Oh my gosh, was this when I did I think this is when I did a talk for Dedi Kuselo. I think somewhere far in Pretoria. I think outside Pretoria. I still have that sketch. It's hanging up in my house because I'm not in my house right now. I'm
Yeah.
at my cousin's house. So it's actually at my house. I still have that sketch. I do. Thank you. I still have
So
it.
someone is going back to the podcast and they're saying, why don't you just be yourself? So basically, for me, how this show started, I mean, obviously during lockdown, I
Mm-hmm.
just I spent maybe 3 weeks planning a show that would have been maybe 20, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes a day. Spoke
Mm-hmm.
to other people, spoke to other producers, and presented to people and big companies, big media companies. Waited. And then one day I decided to subscribe, got myself this uh, streaming thing I'm using. And
Mm-hmm.
then I started doing shows. I think it was even like a Thursday or Wednesday when we started. And then I started doing them every day. And then in the middle of the show, like this, I'd send someone else the link. Or like you see how we spoke about Lorna, I'd find Lorna in my phone, send her the link. If she's available, she comes in. Now that's the interview.
Oh
Something else
wow.
happened. One of the people in the comments says something, and I'm like, "What do you do? Who are you?" Send them a link, put them on. But pretty much, I just decided, you know what? I'm gonna do this every night at 10 p.m. If I'm here, I'm here. If I'm traveling, I tell them. If I've got bad network somewhere, I let the people know there's no show tonight. If I
Yeah.
can't, as long as I'm in front of a good internet, light, yada yada, at 10 p.m. Monday to Saturday. So there was no. I mean, obviously now in my head, I'm kind of planning the show better,
Yeah.
and but there's too much pressure on a lot of bullshit actually in life in general.
Mm-hmm.
Someone says, "What's Allegro?"
Okay, that's a good question. That's coming from Boitumelo. Yeah, Boitumelo says, what's Allegro? Allegro is jumping.
Do you have
Allegro
to
is
land,
jumping.
do you have to land in a certain way
Yes,
for,
absolutely. Oh
for
my
the
gosh.
for that to be called Allegro?
Yes. So I don't know. I'll be able to show you, but I can't really. So it's basically Allegro is basically jumping. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you have to jump from two bent legs and stretch them in the air and jump. Sometimes you jump from one bent leg and like you take off from two legs and you land on one leg.
yeah.
Sometimes you take off from one leg and jump and then land on one leg. It's very hard to explain, but it's actually pretty simple. It's like, what we call a jeté. It's like a leap. It's like splits in the air. So usually you take off from one leg and push and then jump and open your legs in the air and land on one leg and bring the other leg through. Yeah, so alignment of the hip and the leg and the foot must be very important because if your knee is not in good alignment with your hip. So everything all starts from the hip when it comes to ballet. Everything starts from the hip. So if the hip and the knee and the foot, and they always say that when you bend your knee must always be over your second toe. So if it's not over your second toe, that's when you get a lot of knee injuries as well. Yeah.
Why does Kenya
Keke
know
says
so much?
Allegro is generally the last part of ballet class that involves jumps. Well, Keke is explaining everything in greater
How does
detail,
Kenya
but I
know so
guess
much
I'm just simply
about?
explaining it.
Okay, cool. So is this called anything?
So that is called it's an arabesque position. Yeah, it's an arabesque. That picture is actually quite bad.
Why?
But anyway,
Why?
that's actually quite a bad picture. As I look at it close, that's an arabesque. Yeah.
Why is it a bad picture?
Um, I don't look very square. Yeah, I don't look very square. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I can say. I don't look very square. I look like I'm leaning towards my left. Hi,
This is
that's
not
your son
how
in the
I would like to do this show, by the way.
background.
Hear him.
Yeah, he's the master. Hi,
Wow.
David. He's grown up so much, eh? Oh, you
Yeah,
know, it's
no, extra. He's grown up extra.
like proper.
Corona, bruh.
He's literally
Crazy.
grown up because I think it's because I follow you, so that's why I can see.
No,
Yeah.
Mars
Guys,
didn't say
You know what? What Giga did? Giga broke it down. So what happens in ballet class? You start off with
bye bye.
exercises at the bar. You hold on to a bar and you do exercises. So the exercises are broken down to warm-up exercise, pliés, tendus, dégages, rond de jambe, frappe, rond de jambe en l'air, adage into grand battement, and then you come to the center and you do the same thing, but then you progress. And then you go into small jumps, medium jumps, into big jumps. That is all under the realm of Allegro. Yeah.
People like that picture, by the way.
Which one?
This one.
Oh, Lord. You know what? I like this picture only because I love what it stands for. It stands for that campaign that I did for wealth is within, hashtag wealth is within for Standard Bank. So these were the still pictures that I did. So I worked with such a phenomenal team. And when I look at this picture, I just have very good memories. But when I look at myself in the picture, I'm so skewed. Oh my gosh. Anyways, yeah. I didn't see. Yeah. It looks like I'm falling. But anyway. Ooh.
And this one.
Yo, I did this one so many times. I look fat here, but anyway. Yeah, I did this picture a lot. But it was fun doing it, you know. So it was very important for me to have the right floor because with us dancers we can't dance on a hard floor because then the shock absorbers sound fela. You know what I mean? Your shock absorbers were off. So I had to jump off like take off from a polystyrene. Take off from a hard floor and land on a polystyrene surface, which is not ideal, but hey, that's what we could do for that time to make sure that the picture comes out properly and that I don't get sore doing it so many times because we did like a lot of takes. I think we must have done it like 20 times. And also I'm very hard on myself, so I didn't think it was perfect enough, you know. So I think even the photographer was like, okay, Kitty, I think you've got it. I was like, no, let's do it one more time, you know. So yeah. Because I know how critical the ballet industry is, the dance industry actually as a whole is very, very critical. So I needed to make sure that my lines are right, you know. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I did so many times, yeah.
Okay, you have to explain this one, which I thought was great, but you said you are not doing it right, or you are not standing right.
Yeah. So okay, that my right. So if you're looking at the picture, um, yeah, my feet don't look right, especially the what is this? You're right. If you're looking at the picture, my foot on the right is not matching the one on the left. So I look very off balance. And the picture, I'm supposed to hit a 90-degree angle with my hips, my shins, and my foot. They're not in one line. So that picture is very clear that I was very off balance versus the one that yes, versus that one. Can you see I'm not so like it's like a square.
I
That
can't
other one
believe
doesn't look like a square.
I can't believe
Yeah.
you can do that like another human can.
Yeah, so my foot here it looks like I'm over because you're not supposed to be yeah like you're not supposed to be clenching. I don't know how to explain it in just in simple terms because yeah, when you're on your point shoes it's very bad to clench. So clenching is like this, so you're supposed to be over like that, you know,
Yeah,
if you can see my hand. Yeah. So yeah, the other way I look like I'm really off my shoe. When we say off your shoe, we mean off the block, the hard
yeah,
part in the front. So you're supposed to be right on it. So you're not supposed to be clenching away. Yeah. So you have to push your arch right over. Yeah. So that picture actually, that's better. I don't like that picture either, but that one is better than the first one you showed. That one I was completely off.
So this
Yeah.
picture, that picture, and this picture are from a campaign for a bank, right?
Yes, this not the first one. The first one is from the project that I do with Nduduzo Makatini. This one is for Standard Bank.
Okay. Oh, okay.
This Standard Bank. This is for Standard Bank. And then the
Oh,
first
this
one you
one.
showed me, this one is for it was for Bite Size Ballet under Joburg Ballet for TBW for the Queen Mujaji for the drought that they were experiencing in for the water shortage that we were
In Cape
experiencing a
Town.
while ago. And the one that you showed me before, the first one, that is from going back to the Truth of Space that I do with Nduduzo Makatini. Remember the one that you showed me that I said I'm off
Yeah.
balance? Yeah, that's from the show that I do with Nduduzo Makatini. Yeah, going back to the Truth of Space, which is a project that I'm really, really in love with.
I guess normal people would think, aren't your feet hurting or your toes? Or how do you even
That,
begin?
yeah, well, yeah, your feet get sore. Your feet will always be sore, because the front part of your shoe is hard, and your toes have to be protected all the time. Yeah. It's such an interesting thing when you look at it because I never think of it because as a dancer you literally just go in and you do what you gotta do. You gotta be very disciplined and I guess what they say, no pain, no gain, right? Yeah.
So what drew you specifically I guess, I mean, you've got your kind of like your story, how you started. And have you ever done stunt work in movies or TV shows or commercials, playing or where someone is supposed to be a ballerina or a dancer, but they have to be replaced by a professional? Have you ever done anything
No,
like that?
no, I've never done a body double before. No, 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 no. The only one I can think of is when I did my very first commercial. I think it was. Yeah, because as a model, my first commercial that I did, I'll never forget, it was surf for the washing powder. And I had to be on a harness and do like weird positions,
Is
you
it?
know? Yeah. And then another one that I did, which I found very easy to do because of my ballet background, I did the Bonacqua ad underwater. That was so much fun. Oh my gosh. And
Underwater.
it was underwater and we shot it here in Orange Grove actually. Um, and it was really amazing because it was supposed to be an all day shoot because it was five of us. I think it was five different flavors and I was the lime flavor. And I had so much fun under the water, like literally doing ballet underwater. It was really awesome. Yeah.
How do you shoot? Hold on one sec. Hold on. Bear with me.
I think if you go to YouTube and say Bon Aqua Kitty Phetla, I think you might just find, I'm not sure, maybe, I don't know.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find it.
It'll be interesting if you
Wow.
can find it, hey? Sure.
Бусдаас илүү их хүчтэй, цогцлог, эрүүл чирэг идэвхтэй амьдралын хэв маяг шинэ Bonaqua 3
No, not that one. It's one of the old commercials.
Bonaqua
Is
3
it? Will it be this one?
Yes, that's the one. That's the one. I just shouted so loud. Sorry. I can't believe you found it. There. That's Lychee. And that's me.
OMG.
Yeah. I had so much fun doing that commercial. We were underwater. It was amazing.
Okay, you'll have to
Emma.
explain to us. How did you?
Oh, that was amazing. Yeah. I can't believe you found it. Oh my God. I'm so shocked. I can't believe it. Wow.
So, okay, so you have to explain how did you make this ad underwater?
So we're at a public swimming pool here in Orange Grove. It was in winter, freezing cold, and what they did, they put like pipes under the water to make the bubbles, the sparkling water bubbles, right?
Yeah.
And there was a section underwater, like like for synchronized swimming. There's like that little booth where coaches sit and check you underwater. So that's where the directors were. So we had to go underwater and play and just do ballet under the water. It was really nice. I loved it. It was awesome. It literally took me, I think my slot, I think it took about half an hour, no more than an hour.
Only?
Yeah, because I can swim. It was nice. But I can remember that, see, how we did the casting was, this was not a direct booking, by the way. I was still, you know, a struggling model, I guess. So we went, we went somewhere, I don't know, I think it was like in Randburg somewhere, or at like some scuba diving place, or yeah. So we went for a casting. It was a whole lot of us, and they wanted to check how long you can hold your breath underwater. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was very intimidated that day because there were so many beautiful girls. So yeah, very beautiful women. Oh my gosh. So I was very intimidated, and I was trying to multitask because I was doing the casting during my ballet break. So I had to do the casting quickly and go back to work.
You never,
So,
you
yeah.
never did the music video thing.
Ish. Ish.
Did you do some?
Let me tell you, David. You know, I once upon a time did a music video for Staga. Staga.
From
The
Botswana?
hip hop Kemana. Like I did that once upon a time.
Yeah.
And then I did a video for Sipo.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about it. I think that's.
Are they on
about it. But that's
YouTube?
enough.
Are you like a main feature in the video, or you're just one of the girls in a party?
No, I don't think I did a party scene, but I hope it's not on YouTube. It was so long ago. I think I probably looked so bad.
I don't know how bad. I don't know if KK knows you or is your stalker or your number one fan. He says he lost his mind when that ad came out.
Really? Oh, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Charles,
No,
thank you.
like,
No, Kek and I,
yeah, know the
I used
ad.
to.
There's a quite a couple
Kek
of
is a
people
good
actually.
friend. Kek is a good friend. We used to work together. Sure, we go way back. I've choreographed on him before. Then we worked at Mzansi Productions together, and then we went to Joburg Ballet together. Yeah, he's still at Joburg Ballet. Yeah, so we go way back. Yeah, that commercial was amazing. I think I'm talking about the experience. So I was quite shocked how it came out because I was like, wow, all that work for like 2 seconds. Yeah.
Do you remember how much you got paid for it at the time?
How much did I get paid? I think I got paid like, I don't know, like 20 grand. And then it was supposed to be a 3 months contract. And then it ended up being on television for long, hey? So then we got
they
more
kept
money.
using it.
Yeah, then we got more money for usage.
Yeah.
So the commercials that I did, I used to get like stipends for was my first commercial serve because they went on longer than they were supposed to. And Bonaqua as well. Because I also did Five Roses, I did Lux, I've done so many. There was a bad one that I did for Cell C. And then one of my early commercials was for Axe. Axe, the deodorant for men.
Yeah.
It was one of the sexy babes.
Is that the one with the guy who lives next door? No.
Yes, that's the one!
Wait,
That's the one! What?
wait, let me see if I can
Yes,
find
that was one of the 60 babes, one of the 60 models. Yeah, I was a schmodel.
Let me see if I can find it.
Oh no, David, don't do that.
Do you remember what year that was?
No, I thought that was so long time. We shot that in like Hillbrow somewhere. I think in Brie. It was so long time. I must have been like, how old was I? I started modeling after school. I must have been like 21, 22. Do the maths. I'm 37 now. I think that was like 2003 or something. Or 2002. No. 3.
Is it?
2003. Or go between 2000 and 2003. One of the two. Acceptable.
Ish, let me check. Is it
I don't
any?
remember what it looks like.
Is it?
Yeah.
Let's try and find it.
Oh Lord, there's so many commercials I've done.
Which ones do you remember, or which ones were the best? So we saw the Monaco one.
The one that I also liked was I worked with who are the guys back at Bomb Productions? Is it Tebogo?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he was the director for when they revamped SABC One and they called it Mzansi for sure.
Is it?
Yeah, Mzansi for sure. We did a commercial campaign for it, and I was the lead girl. Yeah, on
Is
the
that the one?
commercial.
That's not the Mapaputsi one, right? With the
No.
Mapaputsi song.
No. Yeah, it's like I came out. We shot Kodube at the old Maponya house, I think, and then I don't know. We just traveled throughout of Soweto, and then it was also a water shoot at the end. Yeah, a water scene at the end where it rained. And then
Yes.
the last scene we did it at the parking. Where was it? You know the drive-in where the drive-in was?
Yeah, in the south.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where we did the last scene. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't find it.
Yeah.
So you did
I've done
quite a lot of commercials.
I've done so many, David. Oh my God, there's even one that's embarrassing. Yes, see. I don't even remember what year, and I don't want to remember. I think I was some kind of an extra, I think. So listen, I've put in my dues, I guess, and I loved every experience. I enjoy modeling, because I don't
Yeah.
have to people fuss over you. It's fun. You get to know the reins of what it means to actually be in the industry, trying to
Yeah.
be multifaceted as well. So I'm all about if I can learn, I'm happy. But if I can also earn some bucks as well doing it, yes, great. Because you got to put food on the table at the same time,
Besides exercising, what else have you been doing during lockdown?
exercising and then trying to get my mind right, because also like with my manager and partner trying to strategize what does it mean theaters opening, because I don't know if you know about my project with Nduduzo Makatini. We're trying to see now as to how we go, because we wanted to actually perform it here in Joburg, because we first did it when we were in Grahamstown, because when I was awarded Stand-Up Bank Young Artist for 2019, I had to showcase something at Grahamstown at Makanda, and I did that with Nduduzo Makatini, and then we did it in Cape Town, and I also did an excerpt of it in the US, and I wanted to do a local tour and do it here in Joburg, go big or go home kind of thing, and also do it in Durban, because Nduduzo Makatini's got such a huge following in Durban as well. So that's still a dream of mine to do that. So right now it's like putting our heads together and trying to see what's a way forward in terms of really sharing this experience and this project with people out there, because it's such an essential project to share with people.
I was trying to see if I can make it's not.
Oh, that's such an old picture. Oh my gosh.
Let me actually try and save it. Save it. I'm doing all of this.
This one's
like producing a show by yourself and on everything. So I'm on my laptop. I'm talking to you. I'm trying to do this thing.
I love it. It's multitasking.
I'm on the phone.
See, this is what I learned when I was at Alex FM, to multitask.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what happens. And so I mean, I guess
you've got to be a producer and a presenter,
Yeah.
Oh
This
my word, this picture. Oh, my foot is so bad at the end. It's not even pointing. Sure.
do you remember what was happening here?
Yes, I'll never forget. This was a performance at the Peter Turin at Monte Casino. I
Yeah.
was at Mzansi Productions, which was owned by Dirk Badenhorst. And yeah, I was doing a solo by this show was a dedication to Queen, the band, right?
Yeah.
And we did all the Queen hits. And this solo was called Too Much Love Will Kill You. It's a very beautiful song. Too much love will kill you. I'm a very bad singer, but yeah. So this is what the solo was. The music I was dancing to was Too Much Love Will Kill You. And this was the first half. The first half was white and the second half was black. In black costumes, yeah.
Oh, the way you're dressed.
Yeah.
Have you done solo shows where it's just you, like an entire show or an hour or whatever?
Yeah. I just the one I was talking to you about with Duduzo Makatini.
Yeah.
So that show is just me and Duduzo on stage. He's on the baby grand and I dance for an hour straight, non-stop.
Or he's playing piano.
Mm, yeah.
Well, how do we then see this show during lockdown or post COVID and all this nonsense?
You know what, David, you're giving me ideas, like, because I also didn't want to share this because I still believe that I want people to see it live, because it was such an incredible experience. And I feel like it's something that, because we call this a ritual, because as we all know that Duduzo Makatini is, he's a healer and a musician as well. So this is such a great ritual, paying respect to our ancestors as well. So this is also a different narrative for me because I'm telling Duduzo Makatini's story in his journey as a healer and an artist as well. So he has a blog where he writes his dreams in this blog. So
Yeah.
we chose about 5 of his dreams. And when he remembers them, he jots them down and puts them on his blog. So I chose 5 dreams and I narrated those dreams. We pre-recorded those dreams and incorporated them into the ritual, well, the performance.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we call it going back to the truth of space. So it's just me dancing on stage, nothing else. And Dudu's on
Got
piano.
such a thing with so that's him, right?
Yeah.
I've got such a thing with dreams. The other night here we were talking about numbers because there's a certain set of numbers that I see every night or every day, and then I was trying to explain to people what they mean or they must pay attention to numbers, especially dreams,
Yeah.
and because a lot of people don't, people don't understand how lucky one is to even remember their dreams.
Yeah. Like, oh, you have no idea. Like, it's such a thing.
Like you have to pray to remember your dreams. And then you must pray for interpretation or knowing what they mean, or I have people that I discuss my dreams with, or that I can discuss my dreams with, or at least that are trying to
Yeah.
teach me how to interpret my own dreams.
Yeah.
What
That
was
is
it
something
called?
so special. Going back to the truth of space.
Nah, Bright must come back, eh?
Yeah. That is such a special show, man. Like, because for me, it's not Kitty telling a story. I'm basically just the narrator through dancing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm telling Duduzo Makatini's story because I followed Makatini's career for a very long time. We're actually introduced by Greg Maloka, and ever since the introduction, then I got the Standard Bank Young Artist accolade, and I was like, oh my god, it was not even too hard for me to think about what I want to showcase. I was like, I've been loving this guy for so long and his message, and I need to tell his story so that, you know, the two realms can come together through dance, healing, you know, and just experiencing the whole journey of Ubungoma, you know. So yeah, I was just so excited because me, Kitty Phetla, as this ballerina, supposedly, you know, it's never been done that, you know, I'm telling a story of a traditional healer through neoclassical ballet contemporary, you know. So
Yeah.
I was just so excited to do that, and I think this is a show that needs to be seen here in Joburg, you know. So once again, it's also trying to get the right funding, trying, you know, it's, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay, someone might have found your commercial. Hold on.
Oh my gosh, no!
Wait, let's see.
Who is this?
Emma, this show, I told you everyone on this show.
Son?
Watch the
Oh
show.
my gosh, no!
People here
David,
watch
I
this
don't want to
show
see it.
every day.
I don't want to see it.
So let me first check if that's the one.
Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna be revealing secrets here. Oh my gosh. You know, maybe if you checked out the Three Ships Whiskey one, I'll be like, okay, yeah, you can check that one out because that is actually a lovely commercial that I can remember. Expel, I was a Mugel.
Hold on. Is it this one?
No. No.
It's not this one.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Fragrances, new acts.
Try, you gave us the wrong ad here. Now we're playing free
No,
adverts.
it was not. It was not. It was not in a shopping mall. It was like in a house setting, you know. So
Yeah,
listen.
the guy goes next door, right?
Yes.
Um,
I hope you don't find it.
Okay, what was the other one?
The other one that I did was for Three Ships Whiskey, actually. That was awesome. The director was a young guy. I forgot his name.
Well, there's
Online commercial.
one with a compilation. I have a feeling we'll find it before we leave.
The solution
I don't like the sound of this.
comes in different shapes and
Nothing.
sizes. Skinny, bodybuilder,
Thank
tattooed, and
goodness. Thank goodness. Oh my God.
Okay, what was the Three Ship Whiskey one?
And the Three Ships Whiskey one was just, you know, I think marrying the two sophisticated, you know,
You know what year it was?
Three Ships Whiskey was last year. It was online. Just say Kitty Phetla Three Ships Whiskey, I think, or Three Ships Whiskey Kitty Phetla. Yeah, it was online campaign, you know, because whiskey is very sophisticated and so is classical ballet. So we wanted to merge the two. Yeah, that's the one. Oh no, there's a proper commercial. This is stills. Yeah, this is just stills. Yeah. Okay. Some of these things I've never seen, you know. Like I'm learning so many things.
Really?
I didn't know this. Wow.
Really?
Wowza. Okay. This is very interesting. Sure. Okay.
Let me
No, this one I don't know.
There's quite
Wow.
a bit about you.
My name is Kitty Phetla. I lived in Alex better part of my life.
Let's
So
not
I
David.
ballet. I
Oh,
went
it's
to
gonna prank young artists. Oh,
get a
okay.
choice between
I've
karate
never
and
seen this.
mural. So I was pretty lucky. I was at the right place at the right time.
From? I don't know this.
I Martin
Huh?
Schubert.
I've never seen this in my life. Okay, this is
My career of mine. From then
wow,
on,
wow.
Oh, you
cutting
must
down
Google
numbers.
yourself, bro.
Started handpicking
No,
girls.
that's weird.
Take four.
Wow. Okay.
Of classical ballet. And I ended up being one of them.
Oh
I mean,
wow. I've never seen this.
Okay, I'm still trying to find the ad.
Yeah, I think the one in the middle might be the ad. Wow, this is very interesting. Yes, this is the ad. This is the one that I know. This was in the distillery. It smelled so nice. I don't drink alcohol, but the whiskey smell was amazing.
We broke the rules a bit. We get told that you're too
Oh,
tall.
this is bad.
Tall for that. Maybe I'm not too tall. Maybe I can do this in a
That's
different way.
for a club foot.
Dealing with defeat on a daily basis. You gain a heart of steel.
Oh, this nasty.
It's in the advert.
Nasty. How can they show my toes like that?
I think that's what sets me apart.
I stopped watching it. I've never watched the full thing.
That. So I don't compare myself to anybody.
Oh my gosh. These arms are very
Ballet is for everybody. Ballet is not something that we need to go overseas for. It's right here at home. But it has to be 100% South African.
Not for persons under the age of 18.
David, I only watched the beginning and I just stopped watching. I've never watched the full thing. Oh my god. I can't believe they showed my toes. Wow. Okay.
You must Google
Yeah,
yourself.
no, that's weird, David. You can't Google yourself.
No, you should. That's how you also know if people are talking shit about you. Or
Okay.
if some people who have money can actually take out stuff that's been written about them. Or can pay someone to.
Jesus game. Okay, maybe I'll do that. But I feel weird about things like that. What a kitty wayag.
You know people.
Yeah, tweet though. I'll kitty wayag. I've never Googled myself, but people always Google me and show me. Like, oh my god, we can Google you type of thing, but I'll never sit there and Google myself. Was she part of the Breaking Ballet TV top? Yes, yeah, yes, I was. Breaking Bad. Those were the bite-sized ballets that we did. Dumela. Yeah.
You must Google yourself, bro.
Yeah, but you know what's weird? Like you be sitting next to people, right, David? And you be chatting to people. Like you're out having drinks and someone's Googling you and because you know, like I don't like talking about what I do. I don't people will Google you when it's more, but there she is, yo, what tangalaza, you know what I mean? And people, it's like, and then people like really stare into your pictures when your leg is up there, and it gets a bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, man, you must Google yourself.
You're not doing it, actually.
So, let's see. Hold on.
What are you up to now?
So obviously you can either just Google your name. So when I Google you, this is what comes up.
Okay.
Why didn't you
Can't-
want to be called the first black ballerina?
Oh, yo, David, I've been praying for you don't bring that up, you know. Because I don't know if back in the days, you know, back in the apartheid days, maybe there was a woman or a man or a woman that, you know, was a ballet dancer and maybe was oppressed and was not allowed to say, you know, that she was in a company or what have you, you know.
Yeah,
So
but
I
that's
find,
not your fault.
pardon?
It's not your fault.
No, but I would never. That's too much. It's too much. It's it's a heavy title to carry, I guess. I would never call myself the first black ballerina ever, because I don't think I ever was. You know, until that there's a fact or proof that says, well, no, Kitty Phetla, no, I would never do that. You know,
Yeah, but there
but
isn't otherwise. So there is no
no,
proof.
I'm not definitely. Yo, but Alona Ampulaye, no, I'm not the first black ballerina. No.
Yeah, but we don't know any other or when they started. I mean,
No,
when
Lorna was also a black ballerina in our country. So I don't ever wanna take that kind of. I don't wanna claim that. You know, I'm a
did you start
performing
the dance
artist.
at the same time?
Yeah, we started at the same time, but I don't ever want to claim that I'm the first black ballerina because I find that that became a thing later on in my life because being under Martin's belt, that excellence was always what you try to strive and achieve because excellence has no color, David. Let's be honest. You're either good or you're not good, regardless of color. So later on in life, that became an issue, and I don't ever want that to be an issue, because I think what sparked it initially was being the first black ballerina to perform the Dying Swan in Russia, because the Dying Swan was created in Russia and created on a Russian ballerina, back
So
there,
where
so
okay, cool. When I last saw you, we were in New York and it was freezing.
I loved it. Oh my gosh, David, what's up?
It was like 3 degrees or 4
No,
or
it was not
0.
bad. It was
No,
not that bad.
no,
No, it
no.
was not.
It was raining as well. It was raining as well.
It was not
What?
that bad, but it was such a beautiful coincidence. Like, it was really such a hey, are you in New York? Yes, I'm in. I'm right here as well. And then we walked towards each other. Like I came to your place. It was such a beautiful coincidence.
So, what were you doing in New York?
So in New York, I was invited for the big financial conference where all parts of the world came to this one financial conference in the US, and I was invited to come and perform. So I perform an excerpt of Going Back to the Truth of Space. Yeah.
This was when the president was trying to raise 100 billion rand, 100 billion US dollars, and then all the
Yes.
ministers, finance, and all these
Yes.
government ministers from South Africa,
Yes.
banks,
That's why I said it was such a huge, big financial conference. Yeah. Held in the
how long
US.
was the performance there?
Yeah. So all our South African banks went to New York as one big
Yeah,
unit, one big bank to
to
raise
go
money
and
for South Africa. Yeah.
collude.
Yeah. And we had the dilemma of like not sure if we were gonna come back because there were certain
That was-
strikes that were happening back here. It was such a dilemma.
Yeah,
I don't want to mention anything about it, but yeah. But we came
yeah.
back
No, you
anyways.
guys almost didn't make it back.
And I needed to make it back because I was meeting to do so a day later in Cape Town for Going Back to the Truth of Space. So I had to
Yeah.
make it back home.
Shem, I'm trying to add someone else, but their phone is not helping them.
Who are you trying to add?
Um,
It was got
I'll
Lorna,
show you.
ne? Because it's how Lorna.
No, it's not Lorna.
Hey.
I wouldn't call Lorna at this time, yo.
No, because like this whole thing of first black ballerina is such a silly thing, because it
Yeah.
didn't need to get so out of hand, but I hope let's let bygones be bygones, because that's why I say, like, listen, I don't ever want to claim that title for I'm the first black ballerina, because there were other black ballerinas in my generation as well. So yeah.
So I'll show you who I'm trying to add. This guy, I tweeted about my interview last night
Mm-hmm.
with Elsa, and then he replied with his rap video where he was freestyling, but I think he's doing it over a J. Cole beat. So Facebook will probably say to me, I can't monetize my video, yada yada yada, because I don't own this song. But I wanted to talk to him and like maybe we interview him for like 10, 15 minutes,
Yeah.